Well, I'll tell you what, I needed a little bit of good news after that one. Just finished watching Newcastle lose 2-0 against Atletico Madrid at St James's Park, finishing our pre-season with exactly 0 wins. But there was a few positives from it. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the lack of striker in this video as well. But the breaking news on the way out of the stadium is that Newcastle have now agreed a €40 million fee for the AC Milan centre-back Malik Cow. Hopefully this one can get over the line and it can be another player to add to the Newcastle squad. Bearing in mind the Botman went off again today after 45 minutes. I'm going to talk about all of that in this video. But first, I'm not celebrating anything till it's done, but I needed this on this Saturday afternoon. So cheers regardless. Hope you guys are enjoying your Saturday. The sun's shining. Just popped around with friends after the game. About to head off to a birthday party. So I will be enjoying my Saturday afternoon. If you were enjoying yours, despite the 2-0 loss, if you were enjoying the fact that Newcastle have had a bid accepted and personal terms agreed with a player, drop a like on this video. That's right, Malik Cow, the player that Newcastle have been linked with for years. Let's be honest, it's another player that Eddie Howe has been talking about for season after season. Reports were that Newcastle were in for him. Reports were that Newcastle had agreed personal terms a couple of weeks ago, that the 4-year deal, I believe, is what it's going to be. A 4-year deal agreed with the centre-back. He was keen to join Eddie Howe, keen to join a team in the Premier League, Champions League, but it was the fee that was in question. Reports were that Newcastle placed a €30 million bid that was rejected, and the AC Milan had private conversations with Malick to say, we don't want you to go. It's clear that Newcastle have come back on that one quite quickly. So obviously I'm on my way out of the stadium. Quite quickly, reports were that Newcastle had improved the bid and had gone as far as 35 plus 5 in add-ons million euros. So I think we're talking kind of £32 million for the player. It started off that Newcastle had improved the bid, and then I'm literally walking through town, looked back at my phone again, and the bid had been accepted. So it has literally moved that quickly. Newcastle upped the fee. Reports were that, Malik Cow had said to AC Milan that he wants to go, that he'd agreed the fee. There was other teams reportedly interested in him, but it was the case of getting AC Milan over the line. And you know what it is? At the very least, this window, my hope is we have learnt some lessons. And reading on how this transfer has gone down, I think Newcastle have already learnt a few. As I say, AC Milan weren't keen to part with the player. They rejected a 30 million. They were trying to talk to him. It sounds like very quickly Newcastle went, okay, we'll up the bid. There wasn't a situation when, well, we'll leave it on the table. But we haven't got 3 weeks. I'm going to say we're going to leave it 3 weeks and come back to you. We do not have that anymore. What we do, just 3 weeks, 3 days left of the summer transfer window. Newcastle had to move fast. Eddie Howe said yesterday that there was time to save this window. He said that he hoped that Newcastle could still get stuff done. And we've started at the back, we should be we've spoken about strikers all summer, and somehow we've sorted out the goalie situation. Nick Pope, I think he was playing a few pranks today, just pretending to fall over and then get the ball anyway. There was a few horror moments, but he made some good saves as well. I thought Ramsdale, for all intents and purposes, was good yesterday. I don't think Ramsdale looked like a sub-goalie or a substitute or a second reserve. I thought he was really good yesterday. I think he brings confidence. I think he saved the penalty. Centre-back, Sven Botman, is still a worry for me. Obviously, yesterday it was Dan, Bernshard, Bruno, and then loads of kids. Today, we had a lot more first-team regulars. We had Tonali, we had Barnes, we had Gordon up front, which I'll come on to in a second. We had Langer, who looked really good. We had Botman. And I actually said to my friend, throughout the first half, it's good to have Botman back. He's been linked with having injuries. He's been linked to maybe not being fully fit. It was great to have him back. Half-time comes around, Botman goes off, and I'm going, oh. Fair enough, maybe he's just not fully fit yet, but it's undeniable that Botman has not had a great injury record, and realistically, for me, good news, Jamal Lascelles is back in. Didn't have, well, we lost 2-0, so I don't think anyone had the perfect game, but for what it's worth, I think Jamal Lascelles is okay, and in terms of a rotation player, but do I want him playing Champions League football? No. And if Botman's injured, if it's only Shaw and Dan Burn, we needed somebody else. And I think Malik Cow fits the mould well. Again, he's a big lad. He's got a bit of pace for a big lad. I think he kind of suits the Eddie Howe centre-back that we've seen us buy so far. And Botman and Dan Burn, you know, big blokes who can head the ball away. I think Malik Cow brings a little bit more pace than maybe the other two do. And I think at this point in the season, for 30 million, you know, look, Crystal Palace want 50 for Gahey, and Gahey's proven centre-back in the Premier League, but at the time of recording, the effort to have that conversation that will never end to try and get it over the line, I just don't think we just don't have the time for it anymore. To be able to go in now and pick up Malik Cow, done and, well, again, celebrating nothing until it's done, but reports are personal terms agreed, and AC Milan have now agreed the transfer. Moving into midfield. I thought Alfie Harrison, by the way, come on second half. I thought he was really good. I would actually say that a lot of the pre-season I've been impressed with Park Sung-young, Alfie Harrison. There's a few young lads coming through that I think have a bit of talent, which I really do like. But there's no denying that the first team or the squad is lacking. Atletico got booed at half-time because after about I'm going to put my arm down, I'm bloody shaking here. After 5-10 minutes of the second half, AC Milan brought on a whole second side. Bearing in mind, we had 11 players plus 4 kids on the bench. And that's what happens when you play 2 friendlies in 2 days. I think it's a good idea for fitness. I think they've done it the wrong way around. I think we should have played AC Milan on the Friday, because that was undoubtedly the big game. And then have Espanyol the day later. Why don't we play Atletico on the Friday and then play, you know, York City on the Saturday and win 5-0 and everyone can be really excited? Why have we played Atletico and lost 2-0? I have to be honest, very few people waited around for the trophy ceremony. Both Newcastle and women lost today. So there was very few people waiting around to watch either of those sides lift the trophy. But through the midfield, I thought we looked good. Tonali, Joe Linton kicking chunks out of people. I think the midfield missed Bruno, to be honest. I think we had our 2 midfield battering rams, and then they had Harrison Ashby in the middle with them because he was just the replacement player. Like, once again, squad lacking. And then up front, Gordon up front. Who was better or worse, Gordon or Asula in the 2 games? Tell me in the comments below. I think Asula is a striker, and I think Asula was way more involved, but the problem is that Will Asula does not have the technical intricacies, in my eyes, to play Premier League football at the standard we need him to. I think he runs hard, I think he presses well, I think he's got a good shot on him, but you can't do, that's not enough to play in 90 minutes of the game. It's fine for 10 minutes at the end of the game, but it's not enough for 90. Gordon, just not a striker. You can tell me Gordon plays up front, but he had such little involvement today. And when he did get involved, I'm gonna be honest, he got a lot of free kicks today. I don't think he'd get away with them in the Prem. I think he threw himself around a lot. Which, you know, if it works, it works. But it was frustrating for me to watch today. I don't think he had a single shot. I don't think we as a side had a single shot. Because this is the thing, Elanga, I thought Elanga looked all right. Great turn of pace. Like my mate said to me, he's what we've been waiting for. And I tend to agree, actually. I thought he looked really good on the right-hand side. Dinked it round a player and boom, he's through. All you want him to do is look up at the penalty spot and cut it back. And Gordon's not there. Because Gordon doesn't know where to go. You tell me he knows how to play there. Elanga, if I was Elanga, you don't want to look up. You want to know that Shearer is standing on the pen spot. You want to know that Shearer is already making his run to the front post. You don't need to have to know. And fair enough, it takes time to make those relationships. Gordon's just not it. And that's why Newcastle are trying so hard to bring in an Alexander Isak replacement. If Isak isn't going to play for us next season, as much as it might be going against Aston Villa, you know, which scares me, it's just the way it's going to have to be. But we'll have to make moves, which is why I'm happy that Newcastle have made the move on the centre-back today in Malik Cow. So drop a like on this video if you are happy to see Newcastle. As I say, the season starts a week today. A week today, it's Aston Villa away. I very much doubt Malik Cow will play. But, as I mentioned, Botman, you know, fair enough, he's slowly come back in. Lewis Hall got some game time yesterday. I think that's really important. We've got players returning from injury, and we don't want to use them too quickly. But in the situation is we've got two, how obvious is it when we've got two friendlies? And, Chelsea could literally field about 4 teams. 4 probably good, okay, I'm taking the mick. Let's say 3. I reckon they could probably play 3 11-a-side teams that are good. We have 1 11-a-side team. You try and split that over 2 days, and the gap is ridiculous. So yeah, there you go. Positive though, positive. Stick to the positive, Rob. Malik Cow looks like he will be a Newcastle player very soon. Again, we will count, celebrate, drink a few more of those if and when he does. But Eddie Thiaw said he was going to try and make things happen. He's working hard. If you're happy to see or hope to see Cow lift that black and white scarf at St. James's Park very soon, drop a like on this video. Enjoy your Saturday. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.